Hi, and welcome to the Extreme Vision Now video tutorial for the Ecwid shopping cart. First thing I'm going to go over today is the basic steps to learning what the Ecwid shopping cart is. So let's go ahead and give this a start. Now the four basic steps we're going to go over today are the overview. This is learning what is Ecwid and how does it work. So it gives you a basic understanding of how the shopping cart functions with your website. Number two is the setup, how to log into Ecwid and basically make small changes to the current system. Number three is products, how to add categories and products to your shopping cart. And number four is what's next, where to get more information and help that you need to know advanced features to the shopping cart. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to talk about is what is Ecwid and what it is not. So basically when I'm describing how Ecwid works, which is a shopping cart system that is online, this is actually separate than your website. So think of your website in two different parts for the back end. And when I say back end, this is where your coding would be, the functionality that actually affects the visual representation of your website online. So the shopping cart integrates inside of the back end of your actual website. Now the back end could be like a CMS system or an HTML. Now with the shopping cart, with the way Ecwid is set up, is that it's a very simple system that you can visually make changes to your products, categories, things relating to your e-commerce side of your business. The back end of your website is more of the functionality, the visuals of and the HTML code and all that of your actual website. So when the shopping cart integrates in, it basically puts itself into the back end of your website and then shows on your visual representation of the front end of your actual website. Sounds complicated, but it's very simple when you just think of it. There's two different back sides to it that equals the front side. Now I'm going to go and actually show you what Ecwid is so we can get a little bit more information. When you go to the Ecwid website, you can see that the basic, right on the front page, it gives you some basic information that it's a very simple shopping cart that's very easy to maintain. When you come here for the first time, I recommend watching the demo. You can see some more advanced features of what Ecwid offers. You can also go to the Features tab, see the very specific details of that. Now your Ecwid account should already be set up, so you don't need to watch Getting Started or any of this information. However, there's also a Community tab over here, which I'll talk about the Community tab later when you get more information on what you need. So for the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to go up and actually log in to your Ecwid account. So when you click on Sign In, it'll bring you to the login page. Now here you just want to enter in the email address that was set up with the account and then the actual password that you were set up with. Don't worry about that pop-up, that's from my system. Okay, so now we've actually logged into the system. Now I'm just going to click on Dashboard here. This is the first spot you should really be looking at when you come into your website. Now the dashboard, don't worry about this code over here. This is more to give you like a general overall kind of information on your site. It's very simple. Just has the list of the orders, the last 10 orders that would be down here, so you can get a quick overview. How many products, how many categories, how many customers you currently have, and what your lifetime sales were. So kind of some basic information here. Now if you look over here on the right hand side, these three tabs here are more for your system settings themselves. If you look on the left side, these tabs over here, these are actually for your products and your categories. So let's look at this side over here, which is your actual system settings. Now if you click on system settings, you're going to notice that there's multiple tab options up here at top, which are your general, zones, shipping, taxes, payment, design, mail, social tools, and API. Now pretty much there's some things in here that you're not going to be familiar with right off the bat. Basically what I'd recommend is just get yourself familiar with the things that you do understand and try not to make any changes on any things that you don't understand, because it will have effect on your shopping cart and your customer experience. So under the General tab, this gives you the basic information for actually setting up your store. Now this store here is currently open, so if you ever need to close it for some reason, you can click this button here. It's very simple. It actually puts the store down under maintenance, so it'll display to the customer that your store is under maintenance. You have your store name, information, address, logo, and all that stuff like that on the first spot. That's your store profile there. Real quick, I just want to go over to this last tab since we're talking about profiles. This tab over here at My Profile, this gives you the basics of what your account is. It's very simple. It's just your login and your email, and it gives you an option to actually upgrade. But that is a little bit different than the actual store profile, because the other one deals with your actual account with Ecwid, and this deals with your how your store is integrated, basically in the information that it gives to the customer. Okay, so now there also is more information here for the general, which is your mobile formats and units, so you can change if you're shipping to different locations, languages, cart options, and e-goods are for like downloadable products that you might sell in the future. If you go to cart, cart has the basic information of what the experience is that the customer has and the information that's collected from the customer. So you can see in here that right now, like the cart is the default product sort order is defined by the store owner. You can change those if you want, which would sort in different ways by price, low to high, A to Z, or something like that. Normally, when we deliver a cart over, that it's already categorized by the way that the customer wants, but you can change it in the future if you want. There's some other options in here, but right now these are all the basics that most customers see with any kind of shopping cart online. So if you do make any changes, do keep in mind that it makes a different, basically a different experience for the customer, and they might see something a little bit different. So anyways, you can look through there and see the information. You will see this throughout the website that it'll say get premium features, because this account is currently a free account, but they do have the upgrade option for the next level, which would be $17 a month currently, and that gives you a bit more features, which I'll discuss later. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to go over to is the zones. Now, zones has to deal with your actual shipping zones where you work with your customers. This is something a little bit more detailed. This is currently set up already to basically, there's two different areas, metro, non-metro. Now, these are, you can create your own zones here, put in your own countries, so you can ship all around the world, and you can even put in specific states and regions. I wouldn't mess with this too much until you actually read the information, which I'll discuss later, and how you can get in the back end of Ecwid here, so you can actually learn more from the knowledge base on what these codes mean. Because if you put in, for like example, this one in here is selected under metro, it ships to this zip code. If I remove this zip code, it will no longer ship to this zip code or postcode. Okay, now the next step or the next tab is the shipping. These are different shipping methods. You can have, these are the standard ones that come in with the Ecwid shopping cart that you could very easily set up. They're currently disabled on this account. User-defined methods, these are ones that would be very specific to your company on how you do shipping. So with this shopping cart here, we have it set up to 3 different methods: metro shipping, non-metro, and free shipping. And then they are categorized in here basically by weight. So later you'll see when I go over the products, they have a weight category on the product, and we use this to define how the shipping methods are. So 0 to 4 kilograms on metro shipping, and it's $10 for this one. The non-metro, it's 0 to 1,000. This just allows for, because all the shipping is going to be $20. And then on the free, it's 5 kilograms to 1,000 kilograms is free shipping within the metro location only, because that's selected down here for the actual zone. Okay. The origin address, you can just enter this in if you're doing the carrier calculated method, which gives you, which will calculate out for the customer what it'll be specifically to their area. Okay, the next tab is the taxes tab. This is where you can define your tax rates. If you're using different countries, you can select different countries in there. Payment, these are your different payment options. Currently this one's only selected for PayPal, but you can integrate more payment options in the future if you're set up for those. Design is basically kind of the overall look of your shopping cart as it displays on your website. And mail settings are just for your email address. You have social tools here also, which can integrate with Facebook. And don't worry about API. This is actually how it integrates with another system. That's a lot more complex. Okay, so we've went over these tabs over here on the right-hand side. Now let's go over and look at the tabs on the left-hand side, which actually have to deal with your products. The first tab I'm going to look at is the Sales tab. This gives you a general overview of what your sales are. These are the this will be displayed normally by the latest sale on the top. It gives you what your sale was, what the status is, and what the payments methods were, and the total cost that was on here. So this is where you can really keep track of where your sales are. Now there's another category here which is for unfinished sales for the more advanced version. That is the $17 a month paying option. You can get actually be able to track where customers come to your website and they put a product into a cart, but they don't actually complete the purchase. So this would be so you can like redefine your sales process to make sure that customers are actually purchasing if you have multiple products. Now, if you go to the catalog page here in catalog is where pretty much the majority of your time should be spent on here if you're dealing with your actual products. There are going to be two different sections, which are products, which is currently displaying all the products that are listed in the shopping cart. And then the second one is categories. And when you go to the shopping cart on the actual website page, it displays categories first, so you can select which category you're going to or which one you apply to. And then it'll show the products within those categories. So since I'm in the category tab here real quick, I'm just going to show you that you can add new categories to this area very easily. Like I said, this will be the first thing that will be displayed. You can put in information about those categories. So if you can see for this first category here, we have a picture, we have information saved down here. This will be where you can go in and edit this in the future. Just do keep in mind that anything that you edit in here will be shown on your shopping cart on the page live. So once after you click save, it'll automatically go over to your shopping cart. And you can play around with these in here if you want to on your different products and the different categories. This is the categories or the products that were within that category. Okay, now if we go back to products tab here, so here's where all your actual products are. Let's look at an example of the one roll. If I click on the one roll product here, it opens up and it has some more tabs over here where we can see which relate directly to this product. So the first thing I'm going to show you is basically the front the general category of this product, which this will have your this is your product code. If you use codes, it'll be automatically populated by the system when you create a new product, so you don't need to create your own codes. The weight, like I said, this is where with this account we've set up for the shipping is actually determined based on the weight, and that's the way the system is. So don't change that unless you've changed the shipping means. This is the product name, product price, description of the product. There's none in here currently because these are general products that the description is in the categories tab, but you can put an individual description in this area if you like. Now this area, when you enter information in here, this is not for HTML code. You can put in HTML code over here if you know HTML, but this area is more of like a Microsoft Word kind of visual editor. It's very simple to use. You just edit it. The way you edit it to make it look in there is what it'll display on the website. So you don't need to know any HTML. And this is the major benefit of using the Ecwid shopping cart. Okay, so the next area I'm going to look at is the categories. This is the categories that it applies to. There are different options for the more advanced Ecwid shopping cart that you can put in discount codes and stuff like that in there. You can have a gallery of photos or files if it's digital content. Here's in tax and shipping. This is where you can apply tax to the product and what shipping methods you are using. This is currently using the shipping methods which we have defined previously. And then it has an HTML code spot, which if you know what HTML code is and you want to directly input this product to a certain page on your website, you could just copy that code and put it onto the page. That would be the back end of the actual website. But you don't need to know anything about this just for this application of using the shopping cart. Okay, so that's the basic overview of the product. After you've completed making any kind of changes, by making any changes in here, it'll give you the options over here to save or to save and close. If you just save, this product will still display. If you save and close, it'll go back to your product list. Okay, so this is the basic overview then of the Customers tab. Customers just shows you which customers have purchased on there, so you can get the information about their email address, how many orders they've placed, and so forth. And then the Promotions tab deals more with upgrading your account to the next level. This gives you the discount options and stuff like that. So if you send out a direct mailing to one of your customers, you can give them a discount code that would say maybe 25% off their next order, and they would enter it in and it would apply. But like I said, this is for the upgraded accounts, which are the ones that are starting around $17 a month currently. Okay, so we kind of went over the basic back-end information on what the Ecwid shopping cart is. These are where you would actually make changes to the products and and different things like that that's on your Ecwid shopping cart, and that it applies over to your actual shopping cart that's on your website page. If you need to know more information, which is our next section, which is what's next, you can go to the knowledge base up here. If you click on it, it'll open up more information about how to do very specific steps. This shows you the getting started is more of integrating the website, which should currently already be set up for you. This gives you store management, how to make different changes to the shipping and to orders, and different things like that. These would be more advanced. So if you want to know some more advanced features to your cart, then you can go in here and find out the information you need to do that. Now with Ecwid, Ecwid is a continuously growing company. So maybe there's a feature now that is not currently being offered, but in the future they might offer that. So if you do have a question about something, you can come back into this area, search this area for something very specific that you might need to know about, and that would give you the most up-to-date information about it. Okay, so this concludes our tutorial of what the Ecwid shopping cart is and how to use it for your website. We went over 4 different points, which was the overview, setup, how to import products and categories, and then what's next, how to get more information. If you do have more questions about the Ecwid shopping cart, I'd recommend the very first step is to go to that last section that I showed you of the knowledge base first, because that'll have the most up-to-date information that you can get. Okay, this concludes our tutorial, and I hope you enjoy your new Ecwid shopping cart. Thank you.